moment you just thought, wow, this is really happening?
I mean, Richard mentioned the first day's sales, and we sold the 24 bottles, and our business plan was, so we put them on the shelves in the store, and the business plan, 8 of those needed to sell by the end of the day. And so we were actually so scared that they just wouldn't sell. We went back to the office and kind of sat there and sort of, are we going to go and look and see whether they've sold? Because it was a little cafe literally attached to the building that we were in. And we were there, and by the time we got there, it was shut because we procrastinated for so long. And so we actually had to get on milk crates and sort of stand peeking through the window. And actually, about 16 had sold, and that was like double what the business plan needed. So we were like, whoa, yes! And that was like the first moment. And we went to the pub opposite and spent the money. So so that was an early win. But there were lots of other little ones along the way. I don't think there was one big sort of, right, it's going to work. It was just sort of, that thing's worked and that thing's worked. And so it was lots of little bits of progress.
I think we were very fortunate in the first year or so that we got some good PR written about the business. You know, when we were still very small, you know, like a piece in the Evening Standard, and that just really helped. So that when we started going and talking to shopkeepers, some of them had actually heard of us, and suddenly there was a bit of awareness, and that felt to me like a real point of which you know, there was a bit of familiarity.
There was also a taxi cab test. It was only about year 6 that black cab drivers in London had heard of it, and I just remember thinking for the first 6 years, you know, they'd drop us off outside here and had never seen the vans or heard of the company, and then about 6 years ago, oh yeah, I've seen you guys around, and there was just that point of, I think it's gone from not being known to some people have heard of it. But then, I would say 2008 was a really interesting year. You know, it took me about 5 years for me personally to sort of lose the paranoia that it wasn't going to work. About year 6, thinking, okay, so maybe it's working. And 2008 was a really tough year for the business, and it really did go to show, and it sounds like a soundbite, we literally are only as good as our last smoothie, because there's no need for anyone to buy the next one. So I think we learned in 2008 just the importance of, you really have got to deliver a better quality product, and it's got to be better value than the competition. Otherwise, people are just going to stop buying you. So tough year though.